The NFL season is officially here. It is, 48 hours some odd away. It is time to for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. If you don't live, if you don't like raw, if you don't like uncut NFL talk, you're at the wrong place. We're going to talk Patriots, Dolphins. We're going to talk a little bit about the New York Football Jets, Cincinnati Bengals, Chicago Bears, Chargers, Snooze Fest, Browns and Seahawks. But first... And now, Mike's Thoughts. There always comes a time and a place here in the beautiful world of ours that we start to question things here in the NFL. And I got to question three things right now. One thing is, how did Brock Purdy, quote, get a concussion in the game? I want to use that term loosely, air quotes there, because I think that's just an out. How did he get a concussion in the Vikings game? And people said, oh, he was balling out. He was doing good things. And then all of a sudden he goes 0 for 2 for 20 yards after the air quote concussion there, right? But yet when Josh Allen gets hit and hits his head on the turf, he instantly has to come out and collect his thoughts and get blue medical tinted. But yet Brock Purdy gets hit and he's just out there balling still. Guys, Buffalo Bills fans, is the NFL out to get the Buffalo Bills? Is the NFL out to be like, you know what? We don't like Josh Allen. We don't like the Buffalo Bills. We don't like nothing about you, but they want the gold boy, Brock Purdy, and the San Francisco 49ers to do some work. Is that what they're saying to us? Because Brock Purdy's concussion, he played all the games still, and then I think he got down with the concussion on Wednesday. Yes, I know it happens all the time when you go into your post-game checkups, right? Your Monday, Tuesday appointments, oh, my shoulder's injured, then I got this really bad headache. I get it. But all eyes are on the quarterback every freaking play. We didn't say, oh, that's where the concussion happened. He hit his head on the turf. He did this. He did that. But yeah, Josh Allen hits his head on the turf. He's like, oh, no, man, you got to go out. Buffalo Bills, NFL hates you. NFL hates you. Except for last night. They saved your asses. Thursday night, they saved your asses. That was definitely a pass interference. We'll talk about it with Hoffy. We will talk about that because that is a complete bogus call. But damn it, cue that intro.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckeye here with the Man Hour, short of manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page or check out the blog section as well. We got new merch and new blogs dropping each and every day over there. But most importantly, right now, click on that Listen tab. The Listen tab is the most important thing on that whole entire website. You can see a beautiful picture of Hoppy. You can see a beautiful picture of Combsy. You can see a beautiful picture of Buck Nasty. But hit on that Listen tab and bada bing, bada boom, the podcast form is right there. But of course, if you got Spotify, iTunes, or our iHeartRadio, check that out as well. You can download the podcast, check it out, and leave a ranking because, it helps the show grow a lot. We do got some people popping in the chat here, but first one I got to pop up is Dale. Dale says 49ers stink. They stink. They stink like Hoffy. And that's the man, the myth, the legend tonight, Mr. John Hoffman. Hofstetter, 49ers stink. Do they stink?
I mean, they've stunk the last 2 weeks, but we'll see. I mean, they got a murderous row of a schedule coming up here soon, so we will find out. But do you seriously think that the NFL is out to get the Bills?
Listen, how can the dude pass concussion protocols all game long. Matter of fact, he didn't get checked for a concussion protocol. But yeah, Josh Allen gets hit twice, not Thursday night, but like a couple weeks ago. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, you got to go out, man. You got to go out. Well, I think you hit your head a little too hard. And then they made him go out on Thursday night because of his shoulder. I don't know. I think the NFL does not like the Raiders and does not like the Buffalo Bills because they have such a small market. That is what I think.
Don't you think if that's the case, they would have called a second pass interference in that Giants game? And I know our boy Combs is crying poverty over that call, that lack of a call last night. I mean, when did they ever call the pass interference on a last-second Hail Mary?
Which every time I see a Hail Mary, I think it is a pass interference, 100%. There is something going on there. And I saw the whole boxing out of Gabe Davis, right? Or no, it wasn't Gabe Davis. It was like number 10. I don't remember who number 10 is. But I also saw Mike Evans grab a defender and literally throw his ass down. So I mean, you could have called it either way. But if they would have called it fair and called it proper, it would have been illegal contact downfield way before that, because a couple of those guys had hands on the receivers from like the 10-yard in, and then you could have got offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference, illegal hands to the face. It was everything, which technically should have been offsetting. Replay the thing again, and Baker Mayfield probably would have ended up throwing an interception. Let's just be honest about it.
I mean, Chris Godwin just looks up and he, a half second sooner, he's got that ball. And you and Combs are on here talking shit about how you're the world's greatest at making these picks. But instead, yours truly, the one and only.
The Hofstetter. Hofstetter is 1-0 on the week. Buck and Combs are 0-1. Also, on the flip side of that coin, well, it was 24-10. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers score a touchdown, and then they go for a 2-point conversion. What the hell are they thinking? Like, you're down 14. If you don't get the 2-point conversion, then you got to go for the 2-point conversion anyways, like the next time to even tie the damn game. That was the stupidest play call of the night, hands down. Like, why are you going for 2 when you're down 14? You score a touchdown, you're down by 8. You kick a PAT, you're down by 7. If you miss the 2-point conversion, you're down by 8 still. Like, what the hell? That was stupid. Like, what's the coach's name for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Todd
Bowles.
Bowles, right? Is he the worst offensive coordinator ever? Even by my man Jim Powell's McDaniels. Like, I think the Buccaneers coach might be the worst coach ever in the NFL. I'm just
no. You got the guys in your division in L.A. Brandon Staley. Yeah, I mean, Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded coach. I did question it, but I was thrilled with the result because I did have a 27-18 score. So I was just needing a field goal, and I would have hit on the pick and the numbers. But I'll take being off by 3 points. But yeah, I don't understand what the logic behind going for that was. I mean, they had all of the momentum at that point because, like you said, it was 24-10. You go down, you score a touchdown. If you then fail on that conversion, now you, like you said, you got your backs ball. You need to score a touchdown, and you need that 2-point conversion. I think you take the points there, and continue to play on. But I think that's we've seen a lot of miscoaching opportunities this year and not taking the points when they should have.
Yeah, and then on the flip side of that, right, it's just Wayne G wants to come in and say, worst coach ever? Has the world already forgot about Urban Meyer? Urban Meyer is not a good NFL coach. He was a great college coach, great at Utah, great at Florida, great at Ohio State. Was it Utah or Utah State? I can't remember. But he was not a very good NFL coach. Maybe if he wouldn't have partied with the hookers, maybe if he wouldn't have kicked the kicker, maybe if he would have, been on any other team besides Jacksonville where he got like the keys to the kingdom, maybe he would have been okay. But yeah, Urban Meyer was a pretty bad coach. But Jim says 3 or 4 PIs on that Hail Mary call easily. Yeah, I feel like everybody in that 10-yard radius there should have been called with some type of penalty. It was it was a terrible, terrible situation in there. But Hoffy, I do got to give props where prop is due. You do got to you are 1-0 on the night. You did pick the home team. You picked the favorite. So I mean, way to go out on that ledge there and really pick the winner. But I congratulate you on like on that. So with that, you get a minute of FaceTime here. You tell the people what you want to know. Like anything, you are on spot. You got 1 minute.
I mean, I don't need a minute to tell everyone how great I am. I mean, everybody already knows. But, you know, I mean, there was no way the Bills were going to go, 3 games in a row. So if they had beat the Patriots, maybe I would have jumped on the Bucs bandwagon. But I still think it's the Saints division to win in the NFC South.
All righty, guys. So Hoffy got his minute of fame there. I would have went a different way, Hoffy. I would have been tooting my own horn. Like, look, I told you guys, open up your damn ears, start listening. But guys, it is time to start listening today because this is the first time, Hoffy, since you have been on the Man Hour. It's all NFL season. We're doing a full nighttime show because Combs decided to lose power at 9:55 this morning. And I told you guys
Did we post that GoFundMe for him yet?
Yeah, there's a GoFundMe down, and the link for Combs is to pay his power bill. So
utility bill.
Yeah, the goal is $40. I'm totally kidding. And Jim says, "Tell them how it was a fumble." Brady said it. Brady said it was a fumble. The Raiders should have won the Super Bowl that year.
We're not going to discuss that. Shut up. No, not going there.
All right, the Tuck rule is no longer a thing. But guys, it is week 8 of the NFL season, and that means we got to dive into some talk here. We got 6 games that we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about the Patriots versus Dolphins, Jets versus Giants, Jaguars versus Steelers, Bengals versus 49ers, Bears versus Chargers, and the Browns versus the Seahawks. We got to talk about these teams because these are really 6 very intriguing games that, like, you can go one way or the other on a lot of these. And let's start at the top. Let's start with possibly that could be one of the games of the week. It is the New England Patriots taking on the Miami Dolphins. Many people keep saying that, hey, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, the Dolphins are not that good. Maybe the Patriots are better than their 1-5 or 2-5 record indicates. What if, though, Hoffy, what if the Dolphins lose to the New England Patriots this weekend? If they lose to the Dolphins this weekend, if the Dolphins lose to the Patriots this weekend, are we questioning the Dolphins all the way around?
I mean, as a New England fan, it's not going to happen. This game is not in New England, although we did lose to the Dolphins in New England. New England is 17-41 in Miami. Their last win was a 43-0 win in 2019. But I don't think there is any way that the Dolphins can lose this game. I think it's going to be a win for the Dolphins. I'm not even going to go there. But yeah, if they lose, it's panic mode. I mean, the Patriots defense has looked suspect of late, but you have the number 1 offense going against the number 9 defense in New England. I don't think that they're as advertised on paper where it says they're 9th. Last time they did play, they did have potential rookie of the year and Gonzalez going against Tyreek Hill and shutting him down. We do not have a solid cornerback that can just man up against someone like Hill. So if Hill and Waddle are both in that game, I know they've both been playing injured and whatnot. I don't think there's any chance that the Dolphins can find a way to cough that game up.
Yeah, it has been reported that Hill will be playing this week. He has been dealing with that hip injury. I'm not for sure the extent of the hip injury. If it's a hip flexor, if it's a little bit of this, if it's a little bit of that, I don't know. But all reports indicate that he is playing. But if the Miami Dolphins lose to the New England Patriots on Sunday, I have been telling you guys this, that the Miami Dolphins are overrated. I have been telling you guys this, that they cannot play up to the potential when they are expected to. They can flex on lower tier teams, the Jets, the Giants, the Broncos, whoever, right? They can flex on those lower tier teams, but when it comes to teams like the Buffalo Bills, teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, teams like the 49ers, right, they are going to have problems. And if they cannot beat the New England Patriots, there is going to be a big uproar across the NFL. Not only here on the Man Hour, not only in Arthur Brown's semi-truck, not only in Miami or wherever else the Miami Dolphins go, there is going to be a lot of pissed off people. The point of the matter is, Hoffy, is the Dolphins have to win, and they have to win in dominant fashion. There is no 20-19 win. There is no 17-16 win. There needs to be a 35-7 flexing on me, look at me, pounding my chest. We are the best offense. We are the best defense, and they have to run this East. Because if they do not win the East and they have to travel to, let's say, Kansas City, let's say Cincinnati, let's say Pittsburgh, their team cannot play well in the cold weather because they're an offense-dominant team. If it's cold, if it's raining, if it's snowing, they are SOL. Dolphins have to win this game, Hoffy. Have to win.
I mean, Jalen Ramsey has been practicing, so he might even be back. I know they've been dealing with some injuries with Xavier Howard. So do you think that Ramsey makes a difference for this team on defense, which seems to be their weakest point? Obviously, they're the number one offense, but as far as their defense goes, their defense has really struggled. They are 20th in the league right now in yards per game. Right. So do you think that Jalen Ramsey makes a difference in that category?
So, I mean, obviously, when you add a player like Jalen Ramsey to your roster, you have to get better, right? But guess what, guys? This is not Jalen Ramsey of 3 years ago. This is not Jalen Ramsey of 2 years ago. Hell, this is not even Jalen Ramsey of last season. This is Jalen Ramsey that has not played an NFL snap all season long. This is a Jalen Ramsey coming off a torn meniscus. Now it is not an ACL or a PCL or a what's the other one? ACL, MCL, PCL. It is a meniscus. Now you can play with the torn meniscus and whatever, like your knee just hurts. But the fact of the matter is, Jalen Ramsey is not going to play this game for one. They're saving him for Kansas City for whatever reason, thinking he can just come in off the street and be locked down safety or corner that he is. Jalen Ramsey does not move the needle for the Miami Dolphins. They still have Eli Apple, and Xavier Howard is the one that's missing them the most. Xavier Howard, once he gets back on the field and 100%, that is the one that they need to worry about, is Xavier Howard. Jalen Ramsey, I could give two shits about. Xavier Howard and Eli Apple are the bread and butter right now. So we got Wayne G popping up in the chat here. What is up, Wayne G? He says, if the Patriots stick to, let me get that off here real quick so we can comment. He said, if the Patriots stick to a 50-50 run-pass ratio, they can win. If Trash Jones throws it 35 times, they're going to get blown out. Hoffy, do you think, as the Hofstetter, do you think this 50-50 run-pass ratio is key to the New England Patriots' success?
Yeah, I don't have any faith in P. Shooter Jones. I mean, he had a good game last week against the Bills, who have been struggling. But yeah, I think like Wayne G said, they need to pound the rock. They need to use Elliott. They need to use Ramondre Stevens and just short slants, short little routes for Mac Jones, because he cannot push the ball down the field. So you need to create. You need to have positive yards on first and second down, and leave Jones with a 3rd and 4 or less. That way you can keep that that run pass option, which way you want to kind of go, and not allow the Miami Dolphins edge rushers to just tee off on Jones, because he crumbles. He does not stand in the pocket. I mean, he's got that clock goes off pretty quickly. As soon as he has the ball, he's looking to get rid of it. So yeah, I think that they need to have positive yards on first and second down, not get themselves in holes with penalties like they have in the past this season, as far as holding penalties, false starts. So yeah, I think you have to, continue to move the chains and, at a 50-50 rate as far as run pass.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. And I'd even think about this. Jim Powell brings up an excellent point here, and he says, can the Miami Dolphins basically move the ball with Tua's arm only? Because we talked about this, Wednesday or Thursday, right? that the Miami Dolphins running back room is awful thin. Mostert is on the injury report. Who's the rookie that's still on IR? Is
McCain.
it? Yeah, what?
McCain.
Yeah, and then the other rookie just popped his hip out of place. So they are I think Jeff Wilson is the only running back active on the roster right now that is not injured. So can possibly the Patriots put some pressure on Tua, make him not comfortable in the pocket? Bill Belichick can put in a good defensive scheme, if you don't have to worry about the run, you just worry about the pass. How did I tell you guys how to beat the San Francisco 49ers? Cut the head off at the snake. Don't worry about locking down Hill. Don't worry about locking down Jalen. Send blitzes after Tua. Take him out of the game. Make him a vegetable. I'm not wishing ill will on like anybody, but that is how you beat him, Hoffy, right? Tua. Get to him. Knock him out.
Yeah, and I mean, Belichick's going to do probably the same thing that he did last time. He's going to have, two safeties over the top to keep both Waddle and Hill from going off and taking the top off that defense. But I think if Tua does what he does the last time they played in New England and just takes those short plays, which he did a damn good job of in that first matchup, I think he'll be quite all right. But I do agree with you on that point.
I don't think he will. I think the Miami Dolphins are hearing the echoes of the media, hearing the echoes of, oh, you guys aren't shit. You guys aren't this. You guys aren't that. And they might even be looking forward to Kansas City come next week. They might be looking forward to that trip over to Germany. You never know. This is a trap game. But we do got John in the chat. He says, what's up, people? What is up, John? Hope you have a good game. And Christy Howard, there's a new name in there. She says, what's poppin'? Easy, Jack Harlow.
Brittany Mahomes.
Easy.
Popping wine bottles.
Easy. We are in Jack Harlow country right here. What's poppin'? Simmer down now. John also said, Jimmy G's style of passing 10 yards at a time will beat the Miami Dolphins. Nickel and dime.
Heck, I don't even know if Mac Jones can throw 10 yards.
Listen, Tom Brady S. Hike 1, 2, 3, pop. Hike 1, 2, 3, pop. Hike, hand the ball off.
Jim Powell. They're not bringing up Malik Cunningham. He's been cut twice. He's on the practice squad for a reason. No one's picked him up for a reason.
What are we talking about? Oh, Jim says the Pats need to bring that kid up.
Malik Cunningham's not. He is not the savior and grace that everyone wants him to be. Sorry.
We'll see. John says they need to sign Dalvin Cook, as in the Miami Dolphins need to sign Dalvin Cook. The same Dalvin Cook they could have got for like $2 million, but no, we're good. The same Dalvin Cook that got signed for $8 million in New York and has touched the ball like 5 times. Nah, we good. Miami Dolphins. Hoffy, you are a Miami Dolphins fan. Do you want Dalvin Cook on your team?
I mean, right now, yeah.
What?
Right now, I would take Dalvin Cook over what they have, but I mean, you got A-Kane coming back, so Dalvin Cook's not going to get touches. And let's just be honest, the Jets, the Dolphins are in the same division. The Jets are still somehow playing for a spot in the playoffs. There is no way that those two teams are going to make a trade together.
Yeah, and we will be talking about the Jets next here. John says he's durable. He is durable, sure. But the Jets are paying him $8 million a season. You are going to have to give up a draft pick to get him and then figure out how to keep him on the back end of the deal because he's a free agent after this year as well. It doesn't make any sense. Any team trading for Dalvin Cook is going to have to get him at for like a 6th-round draft pick, 7th-round draft pick, because not only do I got to pay him $8 million, I got to figure out what kind of contract he wants to keep him around. I'm just saying. Chrissy says he is solid. He is a solid running back. He is. But there's a reason why he got cut by the Minnesota Vikings. There's a reason why the Jets are not using him. Yes, I do know he has Breece Hall and who else did they sign? What's the guy's name? Breece Hall. And then the backup. What is his name, Hoffy? Damn it. Let me look it up.
I'll find it.
Damn it. They got Brees Hall, and then the guy that could have started on any other team. Depth chart. There we go. It is Michael Carter Jr., right? And then Dalvin Cook. So I don't know. 1-year deal. How does Billy B win anymore without Brady and Gronk? I just don't see it. He beat the Buffalo Bills last week, baby. Win number 300. 300. Hoffy, you should be pounding your chest, man. My coach got 300. 300
You know what I
wins.
saw today, actually, now that you say that? I think Bill Belichick's 50th, 100, 150th, like 200, 250th, and 300 win have all been against the Bills.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking rigged NFL. I'm not kidding. No, I think Bill Belichick. I don't know if Wayne G is still in here or not. I know Wayne has written some really good articles about why people think Bill Belichick being fired is just flat out stupid. But I don't think the Patriots will be relevant like they once were ever again. I don't think any team in the NFL will ever be relevant like the Patriots were in the 2000s. You can almost mark them up in the Super Bowl almost every year, and nobody will be like, "Oh, well, yeah, you are right." I mean, it's just they were that damn good.
Tom Brady made the Super Bowl 50% of his career, basically.
Yeah,
with the Patriots, so.
I don't ever see any team ever being that dominant ever again. Hell, even the Kansas City Chiefs, right? They have made 5 straight AFC Championships games. That's kind of a fluke, I think, right? We see teams starting to catch up. We see the Buffalo Bills coming. We see the Miami Dolphins. We see the Bengals. We see the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Ravens. Like it is so hard to sustain because we see people want to get paid. People want that money, want those Benjamins, y'all. At least not before Bill has to, quote, retire. John People says McDeuce, our next OC, new OC next year for the New England Patriots. Do you think Josh McDaniels will ever come back to New England, Hoffy?
I think if he gets let go from the Raiders, that's about the only place he has a job opening.
Not sucked. I think Josh McDaniels' time has come up as an offensive coordinator in New England. I think the only time he comes back to New England as a head coach or like a head coach in waiting, kind of like a gentleman's agreement. Like, hey, I'll come back, but I'm going to be your next head coach when Bill Belichick retires in a year or two. That's the only way I can see him ever coming back.
I think that they already have their coach in waiting, and that is Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. That's
he was someone
guy,
that.
That's a guy from San Francisco, isn't he?
No, he number 51 for the Patriots. He spent his entire career with them.
Well, but he's a coach for the 49ers, isn't he?
Gerard Mayo?
Yeah.
No, he's still young. He's like under 40.
Oh,
no, I do know that there's been a lot of teams that have wanted him over the past couple years. And then this past year, the Patriots actually gave him like a pretty decent size deal to kind of keep him in-house. But no, he was a candidate for the Broncos. I believe the Texans as well. Before the Patriots kind of locked him up, and I think they even gave him the defensive coordinator title per se, even though it seems like Belichick's son is the defensive coordinator, and that guy's a fucking clown. But
well, we all know what clowns are, and they're right here on the Man Hour, and his name is Brandon Beastie Combs. Was it too soon?
No, facts.
Okay. Chrissy said, talking about Dalvin Cook here, like she says, one can be durable and not be solid. Well, let me ask you this, Hoffy. You have had some durable running backs in your day at New England Patriots, right? And would you rather have a solid running back, one that can like maybe get 2,000 yards, or a durable running back that that will be there each and every game, even though he might only get 50, 60 yards?
I would say the key to the Patriots' success as far as in the backfield would be people like Kevin Falk and White. And those weren't necessary. I mean, White was, he put up yards at the University of Wisconsin. We'll call that running back university. But I think that, I mean, we saw it in the NFL. He was more so a screen pass guy. So I would rather have a durable running back that can catch balls out of the backfield and can block. So I think that I would take the durability over, somebody like Breece Hall, who is just an absolute, he's going to get you close, or Henry, someone that's going to get you 2,000 yards, because having that back out of the backfield that can catch, run, block, and, can stay healthy is the key, I think, for a successful offense.
And speaking of my man, Wayne G, he says they won't pass on Bill O'Brien after 1 year, but New England could bring him in as a consultant next year, meeting as Josh McDaniels. Sorry, that was
you had it right.
But then he comes back and follows that up with says Mayo is a mini Belichick. It's funny, Pats fans thinks that he'll be better if they replace Belichick with a Belichick. So freaking dumb. Not wrong, Wayne G. Not wrong. Not wrong. Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara style. I'll agree, says John. He likes that Josh.
As long as they're not punching people.
Allegedly.
That's just Alvin, but allegedly, sorry.
Allegedly. No, it was definitely on camera, and he didn't punch anybody. He kicked a guy when he was down, so he was even a bigger bitch than people want to make him out to be. Like, hey, I'm going to let my boy knock you out. And then we're like, yeah, you like that? And then kick him. Like, that's such a punk-ass move. Such a punk-ass move. Speaking of punk-ass moves.
Falling out of a show because you have no power?
Oh, the Jets. The New York Football Jets are taking on the New York Football Giants this weekend coming up. Has anybody thought that if the Jets win this weekend, Hoffy, they will have a winning record? They will be 4-3. If the Jets beat the New York Giants on Sunday, Hoffy, do we have to start putting some respect on Zach Wilson's name? Start putting some respect on the New York Jets name. Start putting some respect on Robert Saleh's name. Do we got to, Hoffy, 4-3? Put some respect on their name?
I mean, the kid hung in there with Mahomes and the Chiefs. I mean, only lost by 3. That was outside of their loss to Detroit. I think that's probably their closest game that they've had thus far. You could probably agree or disagree on that for me. But yeah, they're, and then he went ahead and gave the Eagles their first loss. So yeah, I think that this, I think with, Aaron Rodgers in the back seat, kind of helping this kid, he's kind of starting to find his zone. We'll see. He is a Mormon. So we'll see if it continues, but, maybe he's, found his way through Jesus.
So guys, when we flash back to June, July, August, when we were breaking down these schedules, when we were saying, oh, the Jets are going to the Super Bowl, the Jets are doing this, I sat here on the show and I was freaking adamant. They're going to be a 7-10 team. They are not going to get any better. They're not going to get any worse. And this was with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Right now, they're sitting at 3-3. September, right before the season started, after preseason was over and we were re-breaking down everything, I sat here and I said, if they can get into their first 6 weeks and going into the bye week and they are 3-3, they are doing damn good this season. Those first 6 games that they had were a gauntlet of a schedule. And guess what? They are 3-3 coming out of the bye week. Now they do play the Giants coming up. That's going to be a dub. They're going to be 4-3. Then they got the Chargers, Monday Night Football at LA. They're going to have a home field advantage because no LA team ever has a home field advantage. Let's just be flat and honest about it. For whatever reason, fans do not like to go to LA. That's a dub. Then they play Jim and John's Raiders. That's a dub. Then they travel to Buffalo. For whatever reason, the Buffalo Bills do not play good against the Jets. It's going to be a close game, but I'll give it to like the Bills. And then they play the Dolphins on Friday night, Black Friday game. That's probably a loss. But then they play the Falcons, the Texans, the Commanders, and the Patriots. Do you guys realize that the Jets could win 9 games this season? Guys, if the Jets beat the Giants this weekend, which I think they will, Hoffy.
I agree.
I am
My
going
only
to
issue.
get a Zach Wilson jersey. I'm
Oh,
going to get a
Jesus.
Sauce Gardner jersey. I'm going to wear them both at the same time. And I am fully jumping on the New York Jets bandwagon. If they win the Giants this weekend, good Lord, the sky's the limit for the New York football Jets right now. And
No
then,
pun intended.
What?
You said the sky is the limit.
The sky is the limit, meaning the sky has no ceiling, Hoffy. The sky goes on for infinity because the earth is flat and all we see is just space, space, space. Sky, baby. Listen, the Jets, if they can win in a dominant fashion, which their defense is playing great, Zach Wilson's getting beaten better each and every week. Nobody thought Zach Wilson was going to be this, beating the Philadelphia Eagles, beating the Denver Broncos, beating the Buffalo Bills. Look out, baby. Look out. John says the Jets win this game with a better defense. True. Go ahead, Alfie.
Yeah, but so the Jets, the one thing that they're having problems with is starting early. They definitely have been struggling in the red zone, but they are third fewest in penalties at 39 per game. Second half scoring differential is their fourth at 6.17, and takeaways they have 13, and that's tied for third. But like I said, they have to start quicker at the beginning of that game and not get themselves in catch-up mode. But I think they should beat this Giants game or Giants team, and
right.
Hey, and if the Patriots do as you say, and they the Dolphins fall into the trap game, we have 3 teams right there for that AFC East.
Would we have ever thought they would be in first freaking place? Good. Like, if that were to happen, I will almost tune into ESPN Monday morning when Get Up is on, because isn't Mike Greenberg like a huge Jets guy? Like, I bet you he'll be like, "Oh, look at the Jets, baby!" But
and hey, their next 3 games: the Giants, the Chargers, the Raiders. They've got a combined winning percentage of 350. So they should win these next 3 games. They're going to be favored to win these next 3 games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they win these next 3 games, and the boy that you just spoke about said it on his show. If the Jets find a way to go 500 through those first 6 games with Aaron Rodgers, look out. And hey, without Aaron Rodgers, they went 500, and they've got, these three games coming up that they should win. So,
right.
Maybe we got to look out for the New York Jets.
And if they win these next 3 games, that's 5 games in a row, Hoffy. They would be 6-3. 6-3 when they battle the Dolphins and the Bills. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Jim popped up in the chat. He says they, as in the Jets, can do whatever they want. They still are just the Jets. Listen, Jim, I am a firm believer they are still just the Jets, right? Now, that is not an excuse of not to get excited about what the Jets could be, right? Because defense wins championships. If the Jets somehow, some way sneak into the playoffs, hell, it could be an AFC East championship game. If they host a playoff game, Aaron Rodgers will probably be back. Fireman Ed is going to be waving his fire hats and rah, 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 right? That home field advantage is going to be crazy any given Sunday at that point. If the Jets make the playoffs somehow, some way, Hoffy, every team's got to be worried about them, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, especially if Aaron Rodgers does find a way to come back, we'll see. But do they want to bring Aaron Rodgers back if they win these, if they got a 5-game winning streak and, do you want to interrupt, as you've said, that chemistry, that flow that they've kind of started to build? So it'll be interesting to see what they go with once and if Aaron Rodgers is deemed healthy and able to come back.
Yeah, so just to confirm what Hoffy was saying, I was saying a couple weeks ago when we were kind of speculating that this might happen, right? Somehow, some way, the Jets make it into the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers said he could be back by January. Do you mess up that chemistry? And I'm saying, no, you do not do that at all. There's no way, shape, or form that you even think about wanting to do that. Chrissy says, so far, the Jets are holding their own. They are holding their own. Hell, the Jets should probably be 4-4-2. Let's just be honest. They played shit against the New England Patriots. They probably should have beat the Patriots. They could be 4-2 right now. Think about that, Hoffy. 4-2. What?
Yeah, they can't beat the Patriots though. That's their kryptonite.
Aren't the Patriots the only team with a winning division record right now in the AFC East?
In the AFC East, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So take that. Putting out your pipe and smoke it, Dolphins fans. John says to
Yeah, but they're
chase
still
Miami
last.
to the end, Buck. Listen, I don't think the Miami Dolphins are going to win the East. I think it is the Bills' division to lose. I think somehow, some way, how we say the Jets will Jets, I think the Dolphins will Dolphins, right? Let's look at it last year. All they had to do was win one of their, final 3 or 4 games, I think it was, and they win the AFC East, and they couldn't do that. They couldn't win 4 of their final 5 games. They just had to win one, and they couldn't do it. So the Dolphins will probably Dolphins. The Jets will probably Jets, and somehow, some way, the Buffalo Bills are going to win the division at 9-8. That's just, it is meant to be, right?
Yeah, I mean your top 10 teams in the power rankings, no team has more points allowed per game than 21, other than the Dolphins. So you have to factor in, come playoffs, they're going to be facing one of those 10 teams. Heck, even the Seattle Seahawks, who I think should have been at number 10 instead of Pittsburgh, even they're at 19 points per game. So, the Dolphins are giving up 26 points per game. They're scoring 34. I mean, they're not going to score 30-plus points every single game. And it seems like that's what they have to do to win. So come playoffs, they're going to be hurting if they don't figure out that defense.
Jim, always bringing the logic and always the great analogies, is that the Jets can win the bowl. They certainly can. But there is they're still ice cube soup. No flavor. What the hell is ice cube soup? My man.
How many Bud Lights has he had tonight?
6 at least, minimum. It's Friday. He ain't got no job. He ain't got shit to do. Oh, John says Dorklowski. Isn't that the guy that ran out of the back of the end zone? No, his name was
Orlovsky. Oh, God.
I see it.
Every time he talks like knowledge, like he knows what he's doing, it's like, dude, you ran out of the back of the end zone.
Listen, didn't Baker Mayfield just do the same thing?
But that's Baker Mayfield. That's a complete different story. We're not going to talk about that. Baker Mayfield was actually a starting quarterback for, at least one team.
He was a
Orlovsky's always been a backup.
Baker Mayfield's a top 10 quarterback. Face it, y'all. All you Baker Mayfield haters. John says,
not a top 10 quarterback.
Let me guess, Buck. Your favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz. I am from Kansas, baby. I am from the city where the Oz Museum is at. No, I think
Baker Mayfield is a number 11 quarterback. He is not top 10.
I have never seen The Wizard of Oz, to be honest with you. I'm from Kansas. I lived in the city where the Oz Museum is. Never seen the movie, like the full movie. Even in school, I think it was like 8th grade English, right, Huffy? Where if you play some AC/DC CD, no, it's Pink Floyd with the Pink Floyd CD that has like the square, like the little rainbow thing across.
Yeah.
If you play that CD and the Wizard of Oz movie is supposed to synchronize or some shit, and they did it in like 8th grade English, I fell asleep through the whole thing. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I got a good old thing here. John says Tua was in protocol and the second string quarterback choked. So you're telling me that the Dolphins, John? Good job. Guys, give John a round of applause. John just confirmed what I just said. The Dolphins dolphined. That's what they did. Do not shit on my man Skylar Thompson, though. That's ridiculous.
The Kansas State University.
Right there's my freaking helmet, baby. The Kansas State University. Oh,
I got a question for you.
Jim's not drinking Bud Light. It's Smith Holler whiskey, baby.
Oh, that a boy. Did you ever play at Penn State or at Virginia Tech?
No, they are not Big 12 schools.
Well, you don't have to just play Big 12 schools. I mean,
Well, you
could
see-
be like Alabama and play Appalachian State every
You
year.
see, Hoffy, back in my day, our first 3 games of the season were against North Dakota State, Bowling Green, and like some 4A Texas high school that usually beat us. I'm serious. So it was, what was it, 2008, 2009. We signed a 4-year deal to play North Dakota State, right? North Dakota State came down to Manhattan, Kansas. Not only whipped our ass, they said, I'm going to take your girlfriend, get her pregnant, and then make you pay child support. Like, that's how bad they whooped our ass. Like, it was just an embarrassment, right? And then Bill Snyder goes over to their freaking locker room and says, good job, guys. You guys definitely earned that. And guess what? The very next year, we go and get North Dakota State coach and said, Bill Snyder's gone. Coach is gone. You can come on down and coach our team. Like, we flew up the private jet there. We gave him dogs and kitties and some roast beef. And he's like, I'm in. So, yeah. Back in the day, Hoffy, we played 3 shit schools to start the season. And then we got into the Big 12 record because that's when actually, you know, you had like Nebraska and Missouri and Colorado and Kansas and Iowa State was like in the north. So we had a gauntlet of a schedule. However, my junior year, we were Texas State champs, baby. Beat every Texas school. Represent. Even though we lost to every North school. But hey, it is what it is. All right. I remind him of that on Get Upset page. What the hell?
That's Smith Hall. I mean, shit. John must be hanging out with Jim Powell.
What? I remind him of that on Get Upset page. John, I got nothing for you, buddy. Dorklowski. Men are men, and the sheep are nervous.
I'm so lost. It's not even funny right now, and I'm not drinking, and I'm not smoking.
I'm drinking right now, and I feel like I'm on John's level.
Get up page. Where the? In Kansas? Good Lord. Someone needs to take the keyboard away from him.
Moving on to the next game here. Next game up, we do have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I saw XD Gamer in the chat earlier. Forgot to recognize him, but what's up, XD Gamer? But we do got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend. A battle of 2 of 4-2 teams here. Really, really good game possibly set up here. But Hawk, as we look deeper into this game, when the Jaguars take on the Steelers, who needs to win this game more?
The Jaguars. I mean, Trevor Lawrence needs to. I mean, he balled out last Thursday with that bum knee, but I think the Jacksonville I mean, they've won 10 of the last 12 games. I want to see some. You know, their defense has been playing well as far as points per game and such, but they are 24th in yards allowed. I think that their defense, you know, their cornerback's been pretty. I can't think of his name, but he's been pretty excellent. Their linebackers have been getting pressure, but that defense still needs to, you know. Yes, they're keeping people out of the end zone, but they need to kind of improve on yards per game. And then I believe, you know, the red zone needs to kind of be corrected for them on offense. But, you know, the Steelers are 31 in offense, 29 in defense. I don't know how you have them ranked at 10th in power rankings in front of someone like the Seahawks, but, you know, that's a story. That's an argument for a different day. But I think the Jaguars need this game more, and I think they will win this game as well.
Yeah, so when we look at the Sesgos moving forward, to answer your question there, John, it is in Pittsburgh. I believe it's called Heinz Field now. It's not 3 River Stadium anymore. I think it's called Heinz Field now. But either way, It's in
I think it's been
Pittsburgh.
Heinz Field for a while.
It is Pittsburgh. It is still Three Rivers in my heart back in the Cordell Stewart days when I first started watching football. Cordell Stewart was the freaking man. Just came out.
Oh,
of
the
Colorado.
knuckleball,
What?
the wobble duck.
Don't be jealous.
Every ball he would throw.
Don't be jealous.
Hey, he got it. He
Don't be
jealous.
jealous.
How many times did he beat the Patriots to the playoffs? He didn't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's-
He was
there's nothing to be
Cordell
jealous
freaking
about.
Stewart.
Yeah,
He came from
and he was
Colorado. Name another professional
So-
player that came from Colorado. You can't. I'll wait.
prime. Shador Sanders.
Yeah. Neither of them are going to go to the NFL, but okay, carry on.
You don't think Shador's going to go to the NFL?
Not if he keeps up his attitude. I think everybody will pass on him and he'll get blackballed. But that's besides the point. That's a story for a different day. But when we look at this teams moving forward here, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they need this game just a little bit more than the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are going to probably run the North. They are going to beat the Ravens. They're going to beat the Browns. They're going to beat the Steelers. When we look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, the AFC South is so wide open and so wild card that the Jaguars need every possible win that they can get. Because when you look at their schedule moving forward, they play the 49ers after their bye week, and then they play a division game in the Tennessee Titans. We don't know if the Tennessee Titans are going to be keeping Derrick Henry, if Ryan Tannehill is going to start, and Will Levis is is going to start. Either way, they're probably going to lose to the Tennessee Titans. They just always do. And then they'll lose to the Texans again, and then they play the Bengals and the Browns and the Ravens and the Bucks and the Titans. Hell, they could legitimately only have like 7 wins this season, 2 more for the rest of the season. They have to win this game. This is such a big game for them because people like XD Gamer are pounding their chest about their team. They're hyped about their team. You guys should. 4 games in a row. Congratulations. But guess what? The Jacksonville Jaguars are still having red zone issues. Their defense is still giving up 20-plus points a game in those victories. And Trevor Lawrence is hobbled. He has a hurt knee. We don't know what's wrong with his knee, but it's hurt, and you can tell he's definitely a little bit hobbled, just a little bit. Jacksonville Jaguars need this game so much more. So much more. David's in the chat, Hoffy, says, my Chargers. Your Chargers. We'll be talking about your Chargers here coming up, David. So stay tuned. What, in California, what time is it, Hoffy? Like 7 o'clock at night? My man just got off work. He just opened
8:09.
up. He
3-hour time difference.
It's a 4-hour time difference. Isn't it? I guess it is 3 times.
It is a 3-hour time difference.
Okay, Mr. Carcades.
Put down the Bud Lights. Grab
Where-
yourself a
Where
a
are my
howler.
khakis? Where are my khakis? Sorry.
They're upstairs on the counter where they belong.
But we'll be talking about your Chargers. And Jim says, have I ever mentioned the time when I went spukling and spukling what in Lawrence's nose? I gotta know what spukling is. Like, I think it's supposed to be storkling. I don't know, but Trevor Lawrence does have a big old nose. It's a very manly nose. Like, what are those faces that are carved out of stone? I think they're like somewhere in like Egypt. They're like aren't they? Big old stone faces, and they're all like perfect.
Isn't that Rome
It could be Rome. I don't know, but yeah.
with their tiny little peckers?
No, it's just the face. It's literally just like the face and like a big old nose on it. I don't know.
What was that show that we watched as kids? Was it Guts? No, that you know what I'm talking about. The guy would give them hints or whatever, and you had to come down the steps. Like Barracudas was one team, the Cheetahs. And you don't remember that show?
No, was it on Nickelodeon?
Yes.
Was it called Slime Time or something like that?
No.
I don't know. He could smell that a mile away. Jim says, as much as I cannot stand the Steelers, I cannot stand the quarterback for the Jags. He said he quit playing Screech.
Legends
on
of the
Safety.
Hidden Temple.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't have cable, Hoffy. I wasn't a rich kid like you were. We actually had to go play outside back in my day, Hoffy.
Oh, that's right. You're older than me.
Yeah, I'm an old man. I'm almost 40. No, I'm not. I'm like 35. Fuck, how old am I? I was born in 88. How old does that make me?
You're 35, bud.
Damn. That gray hair says otherwise. Chrissy says, if the Titans lose Henry, it will all be bad. Tannehill needs help from his old line. People stop blaming Tannehill for the losses. Chrissy, who are you a fan of? Because we just talked about...
Clearly the Titans.
Well, I think she was just speaking in general. So I just want to know who she's a team of.
She said we need to freaking stop trading all the few good, decent players we have.
Oh, okay. Where?
The very last comment at 11:11. Let me pull it up for you.
It hasn't came across my screen yet. I still got 11:10.
John Peebles, Dude Hoffy.
Dude
Hoffy what?
Dude Hoffy. Titans. There it is. Titans. Titans. Titans, she says. Good job. She says,
Remember
hell.
the Titans?
Hell, I'm older than both of y'all. Listen, I like older women.
Jesus Christ.
My wife is right over there working out, so she's older than I am, aren't you, baby?
I'm surprised you don't have things being thrown at you.
She got her headphones on. She can't hear shit. Later, Lions Raiders input. We'll be talking about that game on Monday. We will be talking about that game on Monday. Cerebral gas. I don't know what cerebral gas is. Did you know what that is, Hoffy?
Yes.
What is cerebral gas? Can you?
We're not getting into it on this show.
Okay. Chrissy says, I'm seasoned. Seasoned like fine wine, baby. Seasoned like fine wine.
Jesus.
Moving on.
Please.
Moving on. Pull up my thing there. Bengals are taking on the 49ers here, Hoffy, in Week 8 NFL matchup here. And Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol and has not been cleared yet, right? So obviously Sam Darnold is projected to start in a couple days. Obviously 48 hours is a lot time in the NFL and injury in general. So maybe Brock Purdy can come back from his, quote, concussion. So Hoffy, if the Cincinnati Bengals end up beating a Brockless Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers, or does this win mean anything for the Bengals?
I'd say it means more for the 49ers in the fact that I think they can absolutely 100% kiss that number one seed goodbye. They face, five games against likely playoff teams in their final 8 games. Those opponents collectively have a 24-9 record. So the 49ers have to get these must wins or these easy wins because they have a gauntlet of a schedule coming up. And like I said, 24-9 for 5 of those 8 remaining teams. So I think it is more important for the 49ers to get the W than Cincinnati. However, if Cincinnati needs it too to kind of get back in the hunt for the AFC North. I think it's still kind of really anyone's division, that AFC North. I think they could still win it. Because we all know what's going to happen to the Ravens in January, but that's to be determined. But I think the 49ers absolutely have to win this game.
Yeah, so when we look at the when we look at the Cincinnati Bengals moving forward, they are currently last place in the AFC North. They currently are on a 2-game winning streak with wins over the Cardinals and Seahawks. They played their 3rd NFC West team in a row over on the West Coast as well. So they've gone the West Coast, come back home, went back to the West Coast. A lot of travel time. Now, will this win mean any less for the Bengals if Brock Purdy is not in there? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because they're not playing Brock Purdy on the offensive side of the ball. The one thing that the Bengals have been kind of lacking in their previous games was just the offensive firepower. They are going up against one of the best defenses in the NFL in the San Francisco 49ers. Fred Warner is still there. Nick Bosa is still there. Armstead is still there. Fred Warner. Their defense is really, really damn good. So it doesn't matter if Brock Purdy plays or not in this game. The San Francisco 49ers when they lose this game to the Cincinnati Bengals, it isn't going to matter one way or the other. The only thing that is going to matter is that the Bengals went into Santa Clara, went into Levi Strauss Stadium, and beat down the San Francisco 49ers. There is not going to be any narrative saying, oh, Brock Purdy, if he would have started, this game would have been different. No, not at all. San Francisco 49ers are a good team with or without Brock Purdy. So this game means nothing if Brock Purdy, or it still means the same that Brock Purdy is not in there. Sorry, guys. Sorry, it is what it is. Brock Purdy is a flash in the pan. Like I told you guys, preseason. 6 weeks later, what happened, Huffy? Purdy's a flash in the pan, isn't he?
I mean, we've talked about it. You know, the 49ers offense really is a system. You know, you just need a quarterback to not turn the ball over. I mean, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, CMC. I mean, heck, you could go pick up a bum on the streets in San Francisco and probably be pretty decent shape.
Because I know Combs said if Sam Darnold is starting games for the 49ers, they're in deep trouble, right? They don't have any chance whatsoever.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page because that was the dumbest comment I've ever heard come out of his mouth.
I know we haven't seen him, play a lot lately, but I almost think that Sam Darnold is a better fit for that team than Brock Purdy is.
Right.
I mean, Sam Darnold was was it a number 1 or number 2 overall pick? It was to the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets are just as good as the Chicago Bears at developing a quarterback. When's the last time they had? I mean, Geno Smith did absolutely nothing for New York. Ship him out to Seattle, and he's in the MVP running last year.
Right.
I mean, Wilson, he struggled. Now all of a sudden he's looking good. Now that you kind of brought in Aaron Rodgers, he's taking him under the wing. I mean, Mr. Butt Fumble, Mark Sanchez, another high pick, did nothing. So yeah. I don't think, Carolina Panthers, what have they, they haven't done anything since Jake Delhomme and Smith were on that team. So
you can say Cam
I don't
Newton.
think that. Okay, Cam Newton, the one year that he got an MVP, they went to Super Bowl and got boat raced by Peyton Manning and the Broncos. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Sam Darnold is not a good quarterback. I think, especially with you give him those weapons. He never had weapons in New York. He didn't have weapons in Carolina. He's got the weapons in San Francisco. He beat out Trey Lance, who they, basically threw their whole future away to draft him in draft picks that they gave away. So obviously they saw something in Sam Darnold. So I don't think it's going to make a difference, Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and Jim Powell comes out and says Niners system will work, just like the Kansas City system. Is the Kansas City really a system?
No.
I mean, Alex Smith did
yes,
have
the
success.
System,
yeah.
Correct. He did have success. But when they put in Mahomes, did he, Smith bring him to a Super Bowl? Did he bring him to
Alex Smith never won a playoff game in Kansas City.
Well, he certainly didn't bring him to how many AFC championships in a row now? Is it 4 or 5?
5, I think. Yeah, 4.
5?
4.
I mean
4 or 5. I can't remember.
4, 3 Super Bowls, 2 wins and a loss in the Super Bowl. I mean, no, that is not as much as I hate Andy Reid and think he's the worst, clock manager.
I agree. That face was I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I was like, well, hang on.
No. I just he screwed Philadelphia Eagles out of several. What did he bring them to? Four NFC championships in a row before they finally won one and then lost to my New England Patriots. But no, I don't think that. Yes, you could probably plug in a lot of different quarterbacks in that Kansas City system and be successful, but they are not going to be the same team that they are with Mahomes on that team.
Okay, so let me collect my thoughts here. Let me go ahead and pop this comment up. Let everybody digest about what is about to come out of my mouth. Jim Powell, my man. Jim, I thought we were friends, man. But clearly, you want to get underneath my skin, Jim. You want to push that boat, don't you, Jimmy boy? He says Mahomes goes out. The backup goes 90 yards. System. It's all about the system. Well, let's see here, Jim. I can't remember what game you're probably thinking of, but let's throw out a game in there. Was it earlier this season maybe that he went out? It was almost halftime. He goes out, yes, and then the backup does come in and pushes that ball down the field, and they end up getting a field goal, right? It's because the defense was playing prevent defense. Okay? Anybody can throw against a prevent defense. This plastic freaking shoulder can throw 90 yards against a prevent defense. There's a reason why, as a high school coach, I don't coach prevent defense. Prevent defense prevents you to lose the game, or it prevents you from winning the game. And if I have that in my playbook, the kids are in the back of their head like, oh, we're going to run prevent. No, get that shit out of here. Prevent does not happen in Southern Indiana, baby. There's a reason why we're in the championship, because I'm a fucking good coach. Represent, baby. No, but come on. System quarterback? Come on, man. Jim. Now he really wants to get it. Lainey Wilson is greater than Traylor Smith. Honey, they're hating on Tay-Tay. Hate on Tay-Tay. I'll hate on your mom. I'm kidding. Love you like a brother, fuck you like a sister. Next up. We have the Chicago Bears taking on the LA Chargers. David, where are you at? We're talking about your Chargers, baby. Sunday night snooze fest. Sunday night snooze fest is here. Chicago Bears taking on the LA Chargers. Now, we've seen games that are end up being not so bad games. New York Jets taking on the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos taking on the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears taking on the Chargers. Hoffy, is there any way this could not be a snooze fest?
No. I mean, we all say it's going to be, so it's probably not going to be. But unless somehow this backup for Chicago is the next coming of Tom Brady, which we all know is not the case.
Whoa, down, baby.
I know Brandon's probably got a half chub already, and it's only going to get,
freaking hates that
it's
guy.
only going to get harder. No, I think that if I didn't not trust Brandon Staley, I'd say that this was going to be an absolute beatdown, but it's Brandon Staley, so he'll make it a way to keep it close, keep it interesting. But, I mean, I wish they would have flexed this game out and heck, I would have rather see the Chiefs and Broncos, even though we've already seen them on a Thursday night game.
Yep.
But, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. And I mean, even the Monday night game, I'm looking forward to seeing the Lions, but I'd like to see the Lions against anyone else besides the freaking Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sure there's going to piss off people in the chat. Raider Nation for life, but Raider Nation sucks for life.
Yeah, they do. Christy says...
I don't know. Which one's more of a snooze fest, the Sunday night or the Monday night?
Sunday night for sure. But Christy says, this is exactly what I needed tonight. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Christy, for joining us. We are live every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Join us. Hoffy normally has the after show on Tuesdays and Fridays. We'll see what's going on forward. But Hoffy, solo show. I think you're doing pretty good, man. I think you're ready.
Oh, Jesus.
I think you're ready. But, guys, this snooze fest, as we're calling it, this is not going to be a snooze fest, Hoffy. This is not going to be a snooze fest. Tyson Bagent, I don't know why people are hating on this man. I don't know why Combs is not loving this man right now. This man is undefeated as a Chicago Bears quarterback. When is the last time?
He's 1-0.
When is the last time anybody can say the Chicago Bears quarterback was undefeated? Never. Justin Fields, never been undefeated. Mitchell Trubisky, never been undefeated. Jay Cutler, never been undefeated. Tyson Bagent is undefeated. And he's going to continue to be undefeated. He is going to go to L.A. with this sleeve tattoo, with this flat bill hat turned like this. He's going to have a big old flat black and mild popping out of his mouth saying, "What's up, baby?"
Don't forget the chest tats.
with those chest tats. He's going to be like, what's up, girl? You want to see me ball? Watch this. Touchdown, DJ Moore. Boom, touchdown, DJ Moore. Taysom Bates like, oh, a little bit of shake and bake, a little bit of shake and bake. And the Combs would be like, oh, I love me some Chicago Bears. I love me some Chicago Bears. You are going to see Combsy on Mr. 5'5" man like himself.
5'4". Don't give him that.
He's
extra
going to
inch.
stand up, and we might see the tip of his camera. I mean, he'd be like, I told you guys. Taysom Bagent was a real deal. I'm telling you guys, Taysom Bagent is going to go undefeated. This is not going to be a snooze fest. This is going to be must-see TV. I'm going to pick this man up in fantasy football, Hoffy, and this man's going to score me 28 points, and I'm going to win fantasy football on Sunday Night Football alone because Taysom Bagent's going to go off. No
Did you
snooze
see the
fest here,
YouTube
baby.
short of him?
What?
They asked what he would do if he didn't make it into the NFL. He said he'd be hitting the cross gym every day and getting ripped and teaching at a high school.
Good.
Something tells me this.
That means this kid, he's smart. He's smart. So that means he's going to make good decisions down the field. He knows
Oh, yeah, he's going
that.
to make great decisions on the field, but off the field, he's going to be the next, Deshaun Watson.
And your point is
Hey.
what? But the Deshaun Watson was a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Deshaun Watson took his team to the playoffs year after year after year. Deshaun Watson got laid a lot. I ain't mad about it. Not one bit, baby.
He got laid more in one day than we get in our entire marriages combined.
Listen, just because somebody's rubbing my back and I happen to enjoy it and I happen to release all the tension that is built up, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Oh, man.
Jim says, Hoffy, I wanted to agree with you until that Raider rant. Wanted to agree with you until that Raider rant. Listen, it is not going to be a Sunday night snooze fest at all. It's not going to be. But Hoffy, now that I'm fired up, I got a couple bold takes to end the show with. Got some bold
Please
takes.
have at it.
You guys ready for some bold takes? Hoffy, you don't know where I'm going with these at all, do you? You have no
Nope.
idea.
You would not tell me.
Bold take number 1, guys. The first bold take of the day. Philadelphia Eagles are on upset alert. Philadelphia Eagles are on upset alert. They're going to go into the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and the Commanders are going to whoop that ass, Hoffy. The Commanders are going to bend over Travis Kelce and say, I'm your daddy now. You can call me Ed. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be like, oh, well, we got the brotherly love shove. You ain't going to need it because that defense is going to eat. Chase Young is going to show his worth. Montez Sweat's going to show his worth. Commanders upset the Eagles. Bold take number 1. What are your thoughts on that, Hoffy?
They already had their chance to upset the Eagles, and they missed it. They missed out on it in that overtime game. So, no, I think that the Eagles take them serious this time, and I think the Eagles, show some brotherly love and give that ass whooping to the Commanders.
That ass whooping. This is why I think this is going to be an upset, Hoffy. Do you want to know why? Because
Please
after
tell
the
me.
Commanders, they travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, and then Monday Night Football, they travel to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs, and then they play the Bills, 49ers, and Cowboys, and they like again. They're not worried about the 2-5 Commanders. They're overlooking them. Upset special. Jim says that's bold. It's not bold if it's true, Jimmy. John says I'm delirious. Christy, my girl. Washington by 3. Let's go, baby. Jim says Justin Kelce is the most talented Kelce.
False.
I don't know. He is the best center in the NFL. They got some good genes.
Best
Bold
center
take.
in the NFL versus probably arguably one of the greatest tight ends in history.
Oh, he's the best tight end in
Behind-
history.
Where's that bleep button? Because I'm about to go off on you.
Okay, I got it. Go.
Fuck you, he's the best tight end. Rob Gronkowski eats his lunch any day of the week.
If Rob Gronkowski could stay healthy, I would give you that. Bold take
All right,
number 2.
Let's go.
Bold take number two. Kansas City Chiefs are on upset alert, Hoffy.
What?
Kansas City Chiefs are on upset alert. Big if, could possibly snow in Denver on Sunday. It is going to be sleeting / possibly snowing in Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa over the weekend. If it is snowing in Denver, there is snow on the ground. Kansas City Chiefs are on upset alert.
Fuck, it's not a primetime game. It's not Thursday night. No. They're going to wax that ass.
What does prime time and Thursday have to do with anything?
What happened when they played on primetime earlier in the season?
It was the first game of the year. They lost to the Detroit Lions. One of the best teams in the NFL.
All right. I'm calling primetime Thursday night. They've played the Broncos. It was an ugly game.
Okay.
They only beat them, 23-20?
I think it was, yeah.
That's not happening again. It's what is it? A 4:00 game?
Yep, 4:25, I do believe.
No. Nope. Chiefs all day. I'm loving this. You're gonna be buying me a jersey at the end of the year with all this shitty picks that you're picking. But hey, have at it.
Next bold take of the day. Last bold take of the show, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys have been here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Chrissy says Chiefs by 13. I do think the Chiefs will win, but if it snows, watch out. But if you guys haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. We are live every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Next one up. King Henry is back, baby. Derrick Henry has kind of been a shell of himself all season long. King Henry is pissed off, Hoffy. He hears all these trade rumors. He's going to Dallas. He's going to Baltimore. He's going to San Francisco. He's going to Tampa Bay. He's like, look, you freaking cocksucking little son of a bitches. Nashville is home, baby.
Button.
Nashville is home. I am the king of freaking Nashville. 200 yards this weekend, baby. 200 yards. The king is back. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, Christy Howard's saying it for us.
She says, Titans all day.
I gotta get me that button.
Well, Hoffy, nobody can be as Mia.
All right, guys, that is it for tonight. Thank you for watching here at manhourradio.com.
Hoffy, send us out, big guy.
Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You suck.